Nobody's listening, right? Hello, Andrew.
Hi.
Is anybody listening?
Yeah, Amy on Spotify. I'm listening. Took me 10 days, 2 long runs, 5 other runs, 20 dog walks, and dinner prep to get through the entire library, and I'm so in love with this podcast. I've laughed, I've cried.
Oh, that's so delightful.
Short, succinct, perfect.
Oh my gosh, and also so much exercise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
I really, in my next life, I would love to be someone who likes to run. And
My brother's a runner.
I know he is. I really, really have given it the old college try. In fact, in college, I definitely gave it a try. In high school, I gave it a try. I wanted to be a runner.
Yeah.
I love the idea of I'm going to go let off some steam and pound that pavement and sweat.
Yeah.
But it turns out, actually, I don't know if you know this.
What?
Okay.
You've got shin splints?
No. My college roommate from my freshman year in college.
Okay. In like the dorms?
In the dorms.
Okay.
Who was a best friend of mine.
Okay.
She, unbeknownst to me, have I told you this?
I don't think so.
She was like an athletic major, but not like a basketball major. It's not like she came in to play basketball. I don't know if that's a major.
No.
She was
Do you
like,
know how this works?
She was like a sports therapy. Like she wanted to get into sports,
like
studying sports, like the human body through sports type thing.
A physical therapist or a sports therapist? Like the kind of people that work on like football players and have like fancy machines and shit?
Well, I don't know if she ever wanted to do that, but she did later in life would do Ironmans. She was very into physical activity.
And so some school had a program around it too that you could get a major in?
Well, the school that we went to, there was some sort of, maybe it wasn't her major.
You know what? No. I think it was. And I think we all sort of know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah,
you and the voices in your head.
No. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. So anyway, unbeknownst to me, our freshman year, she wrote a term paper. So this was going on for a while about me and how her hypothesis was that I missed a developmental phase as like a baby, and that.
And you're no longer friends with this person, right?
I'm not.
Because
no.
I don't want you to be friends with the person that you're a freshman in college. It's an adjustment period. Was this first semester? And your roommate says you missed a developmental phase?
Well, no, she never told me about it.
Behind your back?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Well, okay. You know, it's kind of interesting because I don't know if that's like planted a seed in my head because, as you know, well, I'll tell that story. So I don't think it was first quarter. I think it was more towards...
You guys were in a quarter system?
Or semester. I don't know. This is all...
I think you should be able to remember. Did you have 2 semesters, or were you on a quarter system, or were you on a tri-semesters, which was kind of having a moment when we were in college. I wonder where things are at now. That's
something to look into.
Or there.
This was at Miami University of Ohio. Now, she and I both worked at the OPC, Outdoor Pursuit Center.
Oh, yeah.
This is the time that I worked at the climbing wall, and I fancied myself an outdoorsy gal. But this was before, I was going through all these phases. Then I transferred to Santa Barbara, and I tried to be a beach person.
But we're in OPC times. Why did you miss a developmental stage?
I was physically fit at this point in my life. I was coming out of high school, having danced, cheerleaded my little heart out. I was on the swim team for a hot second. And she, we'll call her... God,
it's taking way too long. Pick of any fucking
Linda.
name. Great,
Linda, unbeknownst to me, wrote a term paper about... She studied me. And so she had a hypothesis that I had missed this developmental stage. And she would be like, let's go out for runs. This is tied back to, this was a time when I was like, I'm going to run a lot.
Are you not telling us what you're missing yet because it's like a payoff, or should you be telling?
No, I don't know. I never read the paper, but I found out about it.
Right. Okay.
I found out about it years later, or a year later, I think. But she had written a term paper, and she gave that was her hypothesis, and then she gave the why, and she studied my stride, all unbeknownst to me. We would go for runs together, and she would watch how I was running and what was wrong with it, and then take notes.
So there was something about your gait or your exercise demeanor that made her think you missed a phase. Was that the gist?
Yeah, that was the gist. And
I kind of get that.
I think she passed with flying colors. What?
You have, when you're running, I'm totally fucking with you. God, your face was worth it, though.
First of all, the sad fact is I was like, when have you seen me run? We've been together 20 years. I can't think of a time where
we've actually probably gone running together before.
We have.
Yeah.
It's something, I love the idea of it, but my body, I guess maybe I did miss this developmental phase. And, it's gotten into my head because I think back to cheerleading. Mm-hmm. As you know, I was team captain 2 years running. Very rare.
I'm guessing that's not relevant to this part of the story.
Well, it kind of is, because I want to share that I was a good cheerleader. And
you were good at, taking care of the binder with whatever paperwork was in it and having people sign stuff.
Oh my gosh,
for field
Andy,
trips
that is so not fair. You better take that back if you ever want me to put half of my body into my cheerleading skirt, which I still have somewhere.
Oh, taking it all back.
Okay.
I'll edit that part out of the show if you want me to.
Leave it in. Okay. So, basically, I was really good. We've established I'm flexible. I was doing really good high kicks. Sometimes I watch things and I'm like, girls or boys or anyone, you're not hitting it. Our coach drilled into us, when you are putting your arms out into a T, you're hitting it and you're stopping. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to get loosey-goosey or lazy or sloppy. And that's
Is that when your pop into that, you always noticed there wasn't quite the pop as other people's or something?
No, I'm going to get to the thing that I didn't have.
Oh, okay.
That other people did. Mm-hmm. And
chutzpah.
No, I had.
You had so much chutzpah.
So much chutzpah.
I might even say an ick amount for me. Maybe there's the potential that if I knew you in the high school years and I was on the football team, it might have been too much chutzpah.
I can say without question, not even you being on the football team, you, Andy Rosen, had you ridden out your high school years at the same school as me,
yeah,
this venture would never have happened. So, anyway.
I missed a crucial 4 years, and look, and we're happy that
it worked out
for both of us.
And this was a thing for me in dance as well. When people do, what's it called? Toe touches, where you jump. Now, if I'm on a trampoline, I got it.
But is it that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but is it that you could pop it but not lock it?
Wait, I'm looking up. I sound so stupid. I swear this was a big part of my life that I've.
There's also, this seems like a big runway to getting to the point too. I'm craving what it is you're gonna say.
Okay, I'm saying it right now. The toe touches in cheerleading is when you jump up and your
classic
legs do a split and your leg touching your toes. And I mean, I don't want to brag, but our cheerleading team did, with me as captain, go to state. Well, we first of all got our football team to state and they won, which is thanks to us. But also...
Gosh, there's no way they would have gotten there without you.
And then also we competed in cheerleading. Now, we didn't win the state championship.
Get to the point. We don't need... We get it. You were a cheerleader. Isn't that all the information for what you're going to say?
Okay. The toe touches.
Yeah.
I can't do.
The jumpy ones.
The jumpy ones. There's something about my body that doesn't, and it maybe, I mean, it's now in my head. Maybe I missed a developmental phase where I can't get my legs up the way other people can. Now, I can do it if we're on a trampoline.
Yeah, hey,
but like,
you're beating yourself up for nothing here. Can I tell you?
It's not nothing.
No,
I worked very, very hard.
How many of the girls could do the toe touches?
Every single one except for me.
From flat ground?
Yes.
Okay, that is a little embarrassing. I would have assumed. Okay, let me make you feel a little better here, though.
Now, wait, hang on. I just want to say, I could kind of do one. It wasn't like humiliating where I was basically doing like a starfish. But I couldn't get, it was like my legs couldn't bounce up in a certain way. There's something with my hips that didn't pull it all together. The girls on my teams were doing like, I mean, you wouldn't believe how high up they're jumping doing toe touches.
It really is. What's so interesting about this fact is that, wow, what a testament to your other skills as a captain if the captain couldn't do the toe touch. Because it is kind of a important move or signature move.
It's signature. Now,
so it does speak volumes to all of your other skills.
Yeah.
2, I would not have guessed that the whole team could do them, to be completely honest.
Oh, 80% of my team could do back handsprings. I mean, we were legit.
So that is speaking to all the stats. So my apologies.
Another thing I couldn't do.
Now, wait, you're saying 80% could do back handsprings?
Yes.
Wow, okay. But now let's just take the population of being able to do these toe tap things. Not many people can do that. So I feel like it's crazy that you were beating it. It is not a developmental thing that happened.
Well, I always think about when I don't even remember how I learned about this term paper, but it was not her. It was someone else in our friend group told me about it. So everyone knew that she was writing this.
This is pretty fucked up. Here's the thing. I'm actually like, let's put a number on how much we would literally pay to get a copy of that paper to read on this show. Like, it's definitely worth $1,000.
That ship has sailed because
it's complicated.
It's complicated.
But it's not, I mean, but right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Getting back to running, though.
Yes.
They say that, you know, the people that it really sticks to.
Yeah.
They're either running from something or they're running towards something. You know, it is like dark. If you're a runner.
No, that is not true. Don't be like that just because we're jealous that we're not runners.
I don't know. Look it up. Give it a googs.
I mean, not that long since we had kids, had a moment where you were going out for runs.
Yeah, it'll catch me.
Were you doing
like
that couch to 5K thing or something?
Yeah, like every 5 years I get a.
You know what's so great?
You
know what appeals to me about running? It's efficient. Like, you can do it anywhere. You just go out your door.
Yeah, I like that.
You do it for like 20 minutes and you're good. I mean, some people who are runners are probably like, no, but for me, that would be great. Mm-hmm. You got your workout in. Like, you get your heart rate way up. You're definitely going to sweat. Mm-hmm. It's really good for your bones. Did you know that?
But isn't it complicated when it comes to like bones and joints and stuff? Isn't it like if you're doing it wrong, you can really fuck yourself up?
Yes,
it's complicated. It's not as easy.
Right.
Walking's better for you and me.
Well, the thing that's great about walking is it has the same benefits. Like, you can go out your door. Mm-hmm. You do have to do it way longer. It doesn't get your heart rate up the same way necessarily unless you like are going hard. But you don't see a lot of oldies running. But if you get into a walking practice, that can carry you through your whole life.
Yeah, into your 90s.
And I do love, like, daydreaming and thinking about ideas. I mean,
some might argue that running daydream's even better than a walking daydream, though.
Are you serious?
Don't you think? You have run, right?
This is You've gone on a run. Well, this is very telling because I don't think I have ever gotten into whatever running groove it is.
The zone? You've never been in the
Listen,
zone?
I've run like 6-7 miles before. I mean, maybe this was like high school days, college days.
We're talking like cumulative over high school?
No, but like it was always effortful. I would never get into the zone where I'd be thinking about like the screenplay I'm going to write or.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Have you?
I just think that when you're on a run and like you got music blasting, I have definitely gotten more into like a present mode, and maybe I am thinking of something, but that just feels more heightened and special than a walk mode. So I do see the benefit in that way for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I Googled toe touches and cheerleading, and the third video that comes up says, how to fix a toe touch that looks like a star jump. Maybe I need to...
Was that your problem?
Yeah. Not fully.
Did you ever confront your friend about the term paper?
No. I don't think we ever spoke of it.
Like you just heard it from someone else?
Maybe it was spoken of because I definitely got validation from her that she had written it. Whereas I think if we hadn't spoken of it, I wouldn't necessarily believe that.
Yeah.
But I do remember thinking in hindsight, like, oh yeah, she would be like, let's go out, and she seemed interested for a period in time of doing physical activities with me.
Yeah.
Which normally, because she was so skilled athletically, I was like dead weight. So
maybe you were just like slow? Was that it? Slower than her?
Well, no, I think it has something to do with the jump. Like when you run and your hip flexes up, like I don't get much air.
Okay.
But
I've never noticed anything. I think you're great just the way you are.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, I have some news for you.
Please.
So I don't know how this got started, but you have this belly button situation. I'm not going to talk about all of it.
Oh, you can talk about that. I don't care.
Okay.
My souring face is like you. I don't even know if you. Actually, maybe you understand how bad it is. Like I get uncomfortable. You just talking about my belly button.
This is what we're going to get to. It's always been your belly. I don't know. I think I first learned this because I like poked your belly button when we were first dating, and it ruined your life. My belly button, I can get in there. I wash it all the time. I'm getting in there with tools. I could go splunking in there. It doesn't faze me in the least.
Yeah.
Yours, you've described it as being hypersensitive. Like
it's so sensitive. It is. Thinking about touching the inside of my belly button makes me cringe. And it almost makes me nauseous.
With our kids, it's been interesting because they, find belly buttons funny and have wanted to like poke your belly button or have just like landed on you in a way where something's poking the belly button and you lose your
real quick not to do that.
You lose your fucking mind. And
I'm like, it's like one of those like cat videos where it shows like the mama cat swipe at a kitten for doing something dumb like so quick.
Yeah.
I'm like that.
But you've never hit our kids or you've never swiped at our kids.
It's more of a, I don't know, is it like an audible? It's just they know. It's an audible yell reaction.
Your audible reactions pack a punch. So because you do have sometimes these bigger reactions, and like if you stub your toe, it's as though your leg's been cut off and things like that. I haven't known how much weight I've put into the belly button theory.
Are you?
Hang on. Stay with me.
I feel like you're trolling me right now.
This is all going to come back around. But I recently, because the kids thought it would be funny if one night I filmed me in the middle of your sleep, poking your belly button and seeing what happened.
I endorse that. I do find that would be funny.
I'm honestly concerned for my safety.
Yeah.
But I found this Reddit thread, and I think it's opened my eyes up to what you're experiencing.
Okay.
This is on a No Stupid Questions Reddit thread, and the question is just, is anyone else's belly button super sensitive? I can't stand my belly button being touched at all. The feeling is very similar to hitting your funny bone. Does that resonate for you?
No.
I don't know if anyone else has this type of sensitivity there. Am I the only one?
It's much worse than hitting a funny bone. That's what I would say.
Okay, here are the comments.
And not a similar sensation.
Yes, it's so uncomfortable. It makes me nuts. My wife sometimes likes to antagonize me by messing with it, and she doesn't understand when I get upset. I tell her it hurts. She doesn't believe me. Nice to know I'm not the only one.
That feels...
To be honest, it both hurts my belly button and makes my clitoris feel weird. Does that resonate for you?
Yes. Just it like shooting down into my jumbo clitoris.
Obviously. Gross. Your jumbo clitoris. Ew. Oh, God. That is so disgusting. Okay. So... yeah, I don't think this connects with you. Super sensitive, yes. Painful, no. Gets my juices flowing, though.
What do you mean?
I think it's kind of a turn on.
Is this the clitoris person?
No.
Is that a comment right after the clitoris person?
No.
Okay, good, because I thought they might be messing with them.
Yes,
yeah,
I hate...
like literally not at all. The opposite of getting me turned on.
Okay, here's the one I think you can relate to the most. Mm-hmm. Yes, poking it sends a laser beam of sharp pain straight to my balls and dick.
There you go. That's what I meant
Is
earlier. Yeah, that is exactly, that's a big part of it. Laser beam, balls,
dick.
It
feels like getting my insides poked clear into my soul. I'd rather be slapped.
I feel completely seen. Can I talk to these people? How does Reddit work?
No.
When were these comments made? Is this a fresh post?
Here's my final one I'm going to read. No, this was from 4 years ago. I had a girlfriend that wouldn't let me near her belly button, not because it hurt, but because she had a phobia that it would untie all of her insides and would come rushing out.
Oh,
She was nuts, but she was really good in bed and rich. That was 20 years ago. Why did we break up? That's funny.
Yeah, that's kind of... I like that detail. That's a great detail.
What?
Good in bed, rich, but like this little quirk. She thought her belly button would untie. I find it attractive.
Well, it is interesting that it's... I'm about to sound so stupid. But your belly button is a gaping hole. There's a tube out in front. God, the human body is so amazing.
Oh, it is a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before... Okay. If you're born and no one...
clamps it.
Or ties it, what happens? Like, how did the first people know what to do?
Well, you're
This is making me so squeamish.
You're
And have you ever seen those ones that really like are bad, that like are really like stick out?
Well, they're not
you know
bad.
What I mean? No.
There's nothing wrong with an Audi.
I don't mean an Audi. I mean like.
Are you so glad that everyone
like a 2.5-inch Audi? Like, have you seen those?
Oh,
like
no.
Is that what happens?
Well, that's like a hernia.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, but
a belly button hernia. Are you serious? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, remember we were watching, this is such a weird detour. We were watching the Natalia Grace thing. Again, something that we don't recommend watching necessarily. It's a docuseries.
Oh, yeah, there was a guy with...
There was like a neighbor of hers, you know, when she was a child living alone in an apartment.
Okay. And he had a really messed up belly button thing like that, or something else sticking out. Next.
Okay.
Let's move on. Do you want to tie my belly button up in a bow to wrap this up?
I just wanted to say I'm kind of curious because, you know, I don't know about the tying of it. I think that that's a fallacy. Like, the way the doctor ties it up means you have an innie or an outie. I think it's just the way your body heals because...
I don't care.
No, because your umbilical cord, when it's, like, clamped, right? Like, our kids had part of the umbilical cord still kind of attached for a few days, and it just dries up and falls off. Very interesting.
So maybe it isn't a hole that would... I don't know. Can we move on to something nice? Can I tell you some fun stuff from last night?
Yes. Describe what's going on in your body right now.
It's such a horrible feeling. Like, hell for me would be... Like... Hell, like, that would be my hell. Someone with, like... All it would take is, like, a Q-tip with the fuzz peeled off. Just fucking... Like, not even that hard. Just, like, digging around in my belly button is my hell. Okay. Moving on. Last night, I had fun. I went and I took our daughter to see Paramore because my good buddy Joe plays in the band.
So fun.
Holy shit.
God, our kids are so fucking lucky. First of all, to get to go to concerts
Sure.
at the tender ages that they are. Although our son is not going to want to go to a concert for a long time, probably. Because it's very intense.
Yeah, and it was intense. We can get to that. It is intense.
Not only, this is so fascinating to me, it's not only do they get to go to these cool concerts, but their dad is friends with people in the band. I hope they know how cool that is.
They don't.
They don't.
There's no way they know.
I know.
But, so we went, and it was at the Forum, which is like big arena. And it is intense through the eyes of a kid.
Is the Forum where we saw Stromae?
No. The Forum is like a big...
It's where we saw Prince.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. It's a big arena. And it's so funny because our daughter also saw Billie Eilish. I took her to see Billie Eilish a year earlier, her first concert. And that was really intense for her, like the first half of it, because when it starts, the amount of volume from all the people, the music, everything.
Yeah,
like,
also,
and it's crowded as fuck. It's crazy.
I also think add into this that these kids had 3 years of no people, no nothing.
Yeah.
Even going to movies now is an intense experience for our kids because it's so loud and like...
And that's a good point too, that this was like Billie Eilish was during COVID too. This was like, and you know, like still everyone in masks. It was, yeah. But so this was, she had Billie Eilish under her belt.
Yes.
But you could tell she was still nervous. And she articulated that too. And it is crazy loud. And we both had earplugs and stuff. But it was so awesome. And it was so awesome to see Joe up there.
Shout out
just
Joe.
Crushing it. He does percussion for them. And just seeing him up there and then knowing he's looking out at thousands and thousands of people.
Tens of thousands, probably.
Yeah. And the whole band just looks like they're having the time of their lives.
Oh, I love that.
The lead singer, Haley, puts on, is just so happy and, puts on such a great show. And so we're probably, 45 minutes in, and I can tell our daughter's, getting a little more comfortable. Mm-hmm. But she still, at one point, looks, a little nervous and kind of, zoned out. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. And then she kind of instantly snapped out of it and then tugged on my arm and pulled me down. And she's like, this is awesome. And I was like, oh, sweet. And it really blew her mind. The highlights were towards kind of the near end of their set. And I wonder if this is a thing that they're known for doing.
Yeah.
They're playing one of their biggest songs. And then they slow things down for a second. And Haley starts talking. And then all the signs in the crowd go up. And now it's time they're going to pick someone out of the crowd to come sing the rest of the song.
Oh my God.
And the build up to it is like 3 minutes of her talking to the crowd and deciding who she should pick or who she shouldn't.
I love this.
Shouting out different people. There's someone that's now cancer free that has their cancer free sign. So the whole auditorium's cheering for that. Like, it's just magical. And then they end up picking this woman that had a sign that said, like, been a fan since 2006. The woman gets up. Haley gives her a huge hug. It is literally like almost teary-eyed.
I'm getting teary-eyed.
And then this woman just murders. And I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people on her side cheering for her.
And she sang the rest of the song.
Yeah. And like, it's just...
I have full body chills.
Just bonkers. And just so much joy. So much fun. And this I think is a great lesson for us to know, just that because we live in LA, we've made this mistake. The dad in me, and not even just the dad, the practical, nervous, anxious Andy in me, I usually leave before the last song to get out of the parking lot early.
It's the Irish goodbye of an event.
We have been burned by this before.
I hope I didn't offend Irish people just now.
We've been burned by this before. Even Prince, my all-time favorite person, we left...
Person? Your all-time favorite person?
Favorite artist.
Okay.
We left, like, after an encore, but then heard there were, like, 3 more encores, right? Of, like, songs that I loved. So they end the show, and then we know they're coming back, right? You know they're coming back for some sort of encore. And so I leaned down to Teddy, and I was like, we're going to go soon, but let's maybe watch one more song. Because I figure the encore, it's got to be 2 or 3 songs, right? People don't just come out for one song encore. I don't know. But it feels like usually it's more than one song.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just do one more song. And I'm thinking, like, we'll see what the song is, and then we'll get out of there, beat traffic. So band walks back on stage. Everyone starts cheering. They start playing. And then Haley's like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Billie Eilish.
Oh, Teddy.
Teddy's head. I mean, the look on her face.
And didn't she say my good friend? I think it's also cool to see, like, these huge rock stars are buds.
And I mean, you can imagine the crowd went ape shit.
Yeah.
But the excitement on Teddy seeing Billie Eilish come out and sing a song, and it fucking ruled. I mean, it ruled. It was the coolest thing ever. So that was that was my fun little Paramore thing.
There is something so magical about being in a shared experience with that amount of people and it being so positive.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt that when I went to see Alanis. I really felt like, you know, you and I don't go to church. I think that's kind of the idea behind church. And I get it. Like, there's something so beautiful and kind of inexplicable about you're all in this together and you're having this shared human uplifting experience. And dare I say, it makes me feel closer to whatever God is. You know, those moments in time when you're lucky enough to experience that. Yeah. And I love that our kids are getting exposed to that. Very different from, like, my first concert, which was also amazing, was the Pointer Sisters. But we were, like, in Reno or something, and it was at, like, a dinner theater. It was like...
Oh, like an old Reno lounge kind of. That's cool. Yeah.
It was cool.
What were you guys doing in Reno? Dad trip maybe or something?
No. My whole family was there. Actually, you know what? My sister might double check me on this. It might not have been Reno, but I do remember there being, like, tables, and I have a vague recollection. But we lived in East Bay, San Francisco, so it wasn't crazy far.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Maybe it was in San Francisco. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's great. How fun.
Yeah. And it was also, it was really cool too, because they did a really good job. And I think recently there has been there's been a lot of shitty things happening at music concerts, from everything from like people getting killed, deaths, to lately a lot in the news. There's been a lot of people throwing things at the artists on stage.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't caught those. There's been a lot lately. Paramore did such an amazing job of, Haley was like, this night is for you, so look out for yourself, but this night is also for the person next to you, so look out for them as well. And then did like a big, like the way she expressed gratitude for the band was so sweet. And then,
did you lose your mind for Joe?
Oh, it's just unreal. Yeah. Unreal.
That's so exciting. And I love that it's cool for like rock stars to set a positive, kind-hearted tone. Whereas I feel like in the past, like, I mean, not to shit on anyone, but I'm just like imagining. I never was lucky enough to go to a Nirvana show, but I doubt that was kind of the overriding sentiment of like,
well, I don't
look
know.
out for your neighbor.
Yeah, not in that sense, but maybe a different sense. Still a communal, powerful experience, but in a different way.
I feel like there's been this shift, and maybe it's just in my life, and maybe it's just because I'm a middle-aged parent now, but there's been, and I think it's because collectively we've all been through something with the pandemic and everything, but there's been this shift towards kindness. I mean, I even look at comedy, like the comedy rooms of yore.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm Sorry, which was a very positive, fun comedy room, but like I would get teased for being positive. There was something like shameful about being earnest. Maybe it's more earnestness and like kindness. Whereas I feel like collectively I like the idea that we're all rooting for each other now. Yeah. And it used to be like, that's not cool to root for each other. You want to like kind of step on each other or like take each other down in a funny way. But, I this morning went to get my nails done, something that I do 2 to 3 times a year. I don't enjoy it. I was talking about, I think on our Patreon episode, or on our live stream, how much I hate like the sensation of opening a new bag of flour or like goldfish, that paper feeling.
Yeah, sure.
The feeling of a nail file and like, and then it feels like birds like pecking at when they're coming in for your cuticles.
Yet better when someone's doing it to you than you doing it yourself, or what's the preference there? Just curious.
I think I prefer to do it myself because I have some control. Luckily, the lady today was like aggressive. If it's a light file, I just want to die. Like it's the worst sensation. So I don't enjoy it. I know a lot of women do. I also know I'm fortunate that I can do it every once in a while. But truly, it just feels like an obligation. Also, we'll say unbelievably expensive now. It used to be not that expensive, and I think it's good that it is because workers need.
What are we talking?
$100.
Really?
For my nails and toenails. Now, my toenails, our patrons on our live stream pointed out, I have a very active and not active, a robust wiki feet page.
Careful now.
And so I'm...
Yeah, I know it was fun to talk about on the Patreon, but this might get that Wikifoot profile banging even more, which it is banging already.
I want it to be. I mean, this is all I've got.
I mean, you have great feet.
This is all I've got. So it's nice to get a pedicure now that I know.
So are you gonna post a foot thirst trap?
Yeah, I think so. Andy, you're
going to like a pool party this weekend,
strike.
right?
I have very little to boost my bruised ego.
So it's basically you're posting some sort of foot thirst trap, and then you're counting the hours till it shows up on WikiFeet.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, what was I going? Oh, rooting for people. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
I was sitting there in the chair for a long time waiting, as they got these talons into shape. And I was looking outside and I watched this little old lady in a gigantic, like, Escalade type car doing a 5,000 point turn to try to get into this parking spot.
It's a tough parking lot.
Yes. So I watched her At one point, I was pretty sure she was aborting, and I honestly wanted her to at that point. I was
And she was pulling into one of the slots, not one of the
side,
on the wall
no,
things.
it was into a parking spot, a standard parking spot. Very tight squeeze, though. And, I mean, I swear to God, I was sitting there for what felt like 10 minutes watching her inch forward, inch back, turn forward,
Were other
turn
people
back.
invested?
No, everyone else is in their own fucking...
Yeah.
You know, in their phones. No,
How do you do your phones when you're getting your nails done?
Well, you don't.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have been too. Anyway, she finally did it. And I wished other people were invested because I wanted to make eyes with someone and be like, yes! And then she got out and she went to mail her package. And
did she have to like squeak out of the...
But she's tiny, not a problem
that
for her.
part was the easiest part of the equation.
Real slip of a person.
Wow.
So happy.
But yeah, you're rooting for her.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm flying in a minute.
I thought this might come up.
Okay, so as you know, I've been going to Pussy PT, and...
What? I want to talk about your flight coming up.
I know, I'm about to. And I would die if this person ever heard this. Not the PT. This is the, like, other person I get handed off to, who just... This poor human...
Stop talking about it. Like, then just stop talking about it.
Okay, some person I interacted with recently was talking about... I brought up that I was going out of town.
Okay.
I did not now to her credit, did not mention my extreme anxiety for flying.
Okay.
She launches into like how she went on a trip and the turbulence was so bad. And I just was like, oh God. But
did you shoot it down? I think you are in the position, this is what you say. I think you'd be like, oh, I got to stop you right there. I'm not a big fan of flying at all, so like these stories make me nervous. And that end of the conversation.
But the damage is already done. She's
now
already
you want to know the rest of the story?
Well, she's already said the thing. Like, it's already planted in my head. It's okay, though. You know what? This flight... I have so much anxiety. First of all, I have medication, which I tried out the other night, and it totally just, like, basically zonked me out.
Yeah, it seemed like it worked. You know, you were kind of audibly snoring on it, too.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I don't want to do that on the plane.
Who gives a fuck? It's so loud. No one would ever hear you.
Okay.
Hopefully, you'll be snoring. It wasn't like a full snore. It was just like a heavy breathing. Great. I have an app that tells me if there's going to be turbulence or not, which I don't know how helpful that is. I don't think you want that.
I know.
Because then you're going to worry. If it says that there's going to be some, you're going to be freaked out the whole time. If there says there isn't, and then there is turbulence, you're going to be... You don't need the app.
You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to get on this plane, and my friend is going to be on the plane, too.
Are you guys sitting together?
No.
Oh.
And I'm going to say, I'm not going to worry about it. Remember I talked about that YouTube video where the guy was talking about his fear of flying to his therapist, and the therapist said, would it be okay with you if you weren't scared of flying?
I remember this, and I remember I didn't connect to it then.
And here we are again.
Yeah, like, I don't get the therapist tactic.
Okay, so it's basically the idea is, and now I know all of the stats, first of all. Number 1, safest form of travel. Number 2, a plane has literally never just fallen out of the sky because of turbulence. I mean, a big plane. And he's not so sure if that's a true statistic. Whatever. The planes are built for this, right? They're very intuitive. They're tech savvy.
The planes are?
Yeah.
They're intuitive?
Yes.
I don't think a plane can be intuitive.
Okay, like technologically speaking, if something happens on here.
I need to, you know what I need to do right now? I need to get out of my normal mode, which is poking holes in anything that you say, because this is not the time. I just realized that.
Oh my God. Do you
I'll
want
switch gears.
By the way, I was picketing the other day with David Casp. Love that guy.
Love that guy.
But this very nice gent rolled up with like
A nice what?
gent.
Oh, yeah.
Rolled up on his bicycle with like a, what's it called? Like a cooler, but it's like a flexible cooler, a fabric cooler.
A
And
soft cooler?
Soft cooler. And inside were orange creamsicles. And I was also there with our friend Amy Barham. And Amy and I jumped at the chance to get a creamsicle. Now, Amy is smart, unlike me. She dug down deep to get a creamsicle. David, as I'm reaching into the bag, goes, "Isn't it just going to be like orange liquid?" And I was like, no. And I got it out, and this orange creamsicle was hanging on for dear life to the popsicle stick. And sure enough, I open it. It turns into a nightmare. But I said to him, you know, I found a lot of, because he's like, oh, you know, sorry, I shouldn't do that. And I was like, no, I find a lot of comfort into it. It's like my favorite person, Andy, is here with me.
Constantly judging everything I do.
So anyway.
Here's what you know about flying. Nothing falls out of the sky from turbulence. What else?
The idea is that my fear on the plane of flying is something that I am clinging to because it gives me a false sense of like control.
Okay.
When the truth is I have no control. So when the therapist is saying, would it be okay with you if you didn't have that fear?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Sort of. It doesn't. If it wouldn't work on me. I'd be like, I hear you, therapist, but like this angle's not resonating for me.
I guess it's like I just need to trust the plane and the pilots.
What airline are you flying on?
Terrible.
Spirit?
No, American.
Wow. What's wrong with American?
I just haven't had like the best experiences.
When? How? What? I feel like
American, you know, the hub is St. Louis. American, I've flown American plenty. You're acting like I don't know American.
So you think American?
You think I'm not a goddamn patriot? I've flown American?
No, this isn't a patriot thing. It's just, okay. When I think American, I mean, all airlines, anyone can have a bad experience on all. But I feel like...
Great. Andy, what are you doing?
No. That's not... I meant like, I'm getting to like the reputations of them. And when I say bad experience...
Airlines.
Great.
Okay.
Let's start on the bottom.
Frontier, Spirit.
Allegiant at the very bottom.
Wait, didn't you?
Allegiant is like, I had a summer flight and like, we're so sorry the air conditioning doesn't work on today's flight. It's like, well then why are we on this plane? Why are we on a plane where the air conditioning doesn't work?
And if the AC is not working, what else ain't working?
But we do have water for $2. Oh, the air conditioning's not working and you charge for water.
I love how mad you get.
What?
Okay.
So that's the lowest tier. There's some other ones. They're all similar, but yeah, that's the lowest of the low. Then how do you feel about JetBlue and Virgin?
Okay, JetBlue, Virgin I put higher than JetBlue.
Okay.
Southwest I would say is where American is.
Interesting.
I haven't flown Southwest in a very long time though.
See, what's interesting is Southwest fights this interesting battle where in some ways they're innovative. There's a comedian that has a really funny joke about them. In some ways, like Southwest is like the first airline that a lot of people fly on, right?
Yeah.
But what they're lacking in amenities, they really make up in spirit and attitude.
Yeah.
And like their flight attendants are notoriously cheerful and fun.
Yeah.
So they really balance that out. And I find if you do pay the extra, like the thing about Southwest is the one you don't get a seat assignment. You just walk on and you pick your seat.
Yeah.
That's tough stuff.
Yes.
So, but if you buy the like, I get to board first, and you pick whatever seat you want. You got to pay a little extra, but it's weird. So American and Southwest the same.
Here's the thing also, I haven't been on a long haul flight. I'm going to London in a month or, a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be my first long haul flight in a long, long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those planes are typically quite a bit nicer. I'm flying economy, but I think like the economy is very different from the economy that I'm flying today.
You'll find out.
I will find out. But so Virgin, I'm hoping I'm putting up higher.
Oh, you're flying Virgin?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now, where do you put, what else we got? We got Delta in the mix?
Delta and United, I would say, are like a step above.
Okay.
Are
they at the top of the heap?
I want to put Virgin at the top of the heap.
Okay.
And then, I've heard that like Singapore Airlines is.
Well, yeah. Then there's all the international ones that we don't know.
Air France.
Yeah. We're just talking domestic right now.
Okay.
And where did you put JetBlue again?
I think JetBlue and.
I put JetBlue in that. I'm just doing like a low, middle, and top.
Okay.
And top is like, is it really the top? But top, I would put Delta and United with you.
Yeah.
Middle, I would put JetBlue, Southwest.
American.
I guess American too.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'll take you for granted.
You'll take me for granted?
Yeah.
Okay, we've lost the plot. We have so much to do. I guess, I have to go pack. I think let's wrap it up here. This was fun.
This was great. You're going to have hey, listen, you are going to have a great flight. Your friend's going to be on the flight. You can always introduce yourself to the pilot. You can always.
What am I, 7?
People like doing that.
I walk up and I'm like, can I meet the pilot? I want to get eyes on the pilot.
That to me is so endearing. But you could also tell the flight attendant.
But see, that goes against my thing that I'm trying today, which is just to not be scared.
Yeah.
Let me read.
Let me do a redo.
Okay.
You're going to take your pill.
Yeah.
Do you got a neck pillow?
Yeah.
Got a neck pillow?
Uh-huh.
You're going to get a nice magazine at
ooh, that's fun.
At the airport.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a little snack that you want or a fun bottle of water, right? You're going to be comfortable. You're going to take your pill. You're going to have this great mindset. And it's going to be a smooth flight.
Thank you.
And then when you get off, do you and your friend share the same destination?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then you get to be with them in a car. You'll Uber or taxi or something, or someone picking you up.
Someone's picking us up.
A friend?
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Just think about all these positives.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And, I've been thinking a lot about, like, being in the car when we hit a pothole or something and there's a big, like, dunk. That's really just what's happening on the plane. The thing I'm terrified of...
I had put a great place to stop, but I guess I'm curious.
I'm scared of, like, a big drop.
Yeah. Just keep it buckled up.
Have you ever had that?
You know what? So it's funny you mentioned that. I know I've told you before about the flight to Iceland with my buddy Vickers.
Yeah, you've never gone into detail.
I have the footage somewhere, and I have the cables and gizmos to like get the footage now. I gotta find it. Maybe I should never show it to you, but just I want to see it because it's so wild, the amount of turbulence that we were on. And we had fun though. We just embraced it, and it was totally fine.
Andy,
because nothing bad happens.
Fucking stupid. What are you doing right now?
Because
you have the footage. You're gonna show it to me,
and how joyful we are. We spun.
I thought what you were just gonna say is like the worst turbulence of my life was that flight to Iceland, and Vickers and I got drunk during it. And we were filming it, but there were no big drops or anything.
Oh yeah, I don't think there were any big drops.
Are you telling the truth right now?
Yeah, I think so. And we'll look
it was just a lot of shaking.
Just bumpy. Crazy bumps. Like you're on the off-road.
For how long?
Hours.
This is so fucked up. Okay. Good night. Good night.
you.